So it's time for some more fun in my sketchbook. Out with the collage pieces. Some people ask me why I put collage down when I'm just going to paint over the top of it. But if you look at what happens when I do paint over it, you'll see that the edges are what create such lovely effects. And you do actually get a little bit of the detail of the collage coming through in places. I never know where those places are going to be, but it just gives me those opportunities for those lovely little surprises that you can't create, you can't make, you can't paint them. They just have to happen. The only way to do them is with collage. Okay, so next in with some stencils, and I put in a very muted, earthy sort of colour first. So the next thing I wanted to do was put in a cool, light colour in contrast with that, and then come in with quite a saturated, warm colour, which is kind of opposite to what I've got already. And I'm using the stencils to get sort of definition of shape and nice little sharp edges, and also the soft edges that you get with the sponge are nice as well in contrast. So these just provide little details, these stencils. And just like the collage, I don't know which little details I'm going to end up keeping. But if I scatter them all over the place, then I have choices and I can find the ones I like the most. The next thing I'm doing here is I'm getting my paint pens and I'm using the stencils to create lines. And these are sort of shapes, linear shapes really, and they just provide another sort of mark, and I'm using the same kind of colour as I've got in the paint underneath, so it's sort of all quite integrated. And using a yellow as well. This is quite a cool yellow, and I'm sort of going a bit rogue with the line here, just using the stencil to start off and then seeing, going ad lib as well, so that it's not exactly the same in each case. And then a little bit of the sort of warm browny red colour, and just keeping within these nice sort of earthy, warm colours. And you can see in this detail the layers are sort of building up. You can see the little bit of collage underneath. You can see the earthy colours, the saturated colour, and the line. And now I'm going to find some shapes. So I've made up a light colour, and I'm sort of just doing negative painting. I'm going to find a shape, have some sharp edges, let the paint do what it will with the brush. So I've got soft edges and sharp. Then sprinkling a little bit of water over the top with my colour shaper, I'm now going to move that paint around, and that will give me some lovely soft edges, some lovely sort of veiled effects as that white paint is you're sort of looking through it, and it just sort of softens. It gives us a variety of textures, and you can still see the colour coming through. Now when that's dry, over the top I'm going to do some drawing. I've got a light area there, so I can come in and get some more detail in with some nice loose sort of drawing. And I'm just making up this drawing as I go along. It's just playing really. Just I'm a 4-year-old in the arty sandpit, and I'm just playing around and seeing what will happen. And now I'm spreading a little bit of the white paint over the top of, or smudging that some of those lines. Coming in with the yellow again and drawing with the yellow. So previously I had used the yellow with the sponge when I was stenciling, and now I'm using the yellow in a different way and drawing with it. And now I'm coming in with the blue. So this is a little bit more of a deeper blue than I had before, but it's still reasonably light, and it's not a dark blue by any means. And I'm just creating shapes, creating some edges, just spreading that around in various places. Butting it up next to some of the grey paint that's underneath, because it will sort of integrate with that more smoothly. And just sort of spreading that around. Those shapes look kind of a little bit awkward, but I know that I can change that. I can move into them, and I'm coming through with that dark browny colour again, so bringing that onto the top. I've got it underneath, and now I'm bringing some of it onto the top as well, and just covering bits that aren't wonderful, having it thick, having it sort of broken, putting it on in different ways. And now with the comb, I'm just going to create a bit of texture. And then with my paint pens again, I'm going to do some writing over the top. And this is my 4-year-old writing. So letters. I'm actually writing song lyrics here, I think. But they're so big and done so loosely that you can't really recognise them. And now I'm drawing with a chroma colour pencil. This is a permanent pencil, and I'm using the straight edge to give me some straight edges and give me some straight lines. My drawing up to now has been fairly loose, but every now and again I want some really good strong sort of lines that will give me a bit of structure in this very loose kind of painting. Okay, mixing up the light colour again, I'm going to find some shapes again. So it's sort of a toing and froing of providing a lot of detail and a lot of colour and texture, and then looking for the shapes. And so now I'm looking for the shapes in this and finding little bits that I like, cutting off edges, just finding shapes really within all the marks and textures that I've got. Okay, now I want to create a zone, a yellow zone. So I'm going to have one area that's kind of more strongly yellow, and then I can scatter little bits of yellow around the painting to sort of integrate. And just now sort of adding little details, just little highlighting areas, leading the eye across the painting, making connections. Okay, and this is just more detail, just adding little bits of line, drawing, carrying edges over, just sort of making sense of it all really, and creating shapes and nice sharp edges, and that's it. It was quite fun.